Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Haunted America, or should I say UFO America? Alien America. Extraterrestrial America. On today's episode, we're going to dive into UFOs, aliens, and I guess try to make an episode out of that, because one of the hosts has a lot of experience where aliens and UFOs tend to be seen a lot. All that, plus, well, I guess the whole show is our comments and reactions and thoughts and all that kind of crap.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep, let's get right into it on this episode of
Haunted America.
Before we get started with the podcast, if you guys would like to get your hands on some of the same equipment we use when we're out there investigating, check out the links down below to equipment such as spirit boxes, REM pods, and EVP recorders. These are just a few of the things that can help you get started with your own investigations. We do get a small commission every time you guys use one of our links.
And please rate and review on whatever platform you're listening on. It helps the algorithm and pushes us out to newer listeners. Also, if you would like your stories read on the show as part of America's Encounters, email us at hauntedamericapodcast@gmail.com. That's hauntedamericapodcast@gmail.com.
Now, let's get into the show.
So I thought it'd be okay to use this voice for the show.
You're giving me flashbacks, man.
To when you were abducted. Or maybe they're all the same voice. No, how about this voice?
Oh,
Not alien enough. I don't know.
that gives me traumatic memories.
So let's get right into it. Aliens, UFOs, extraterrestrial. What is your story? If you guys have a story of seeing a UFO or anything like that, and you guys want to have it read out on the show, you guys want to share it with us, email us, hauntedamericapodcast@gmail.com. I guess this episode, we will tell a couple of our stories. I only have two that I can remember and think of, and you have a ton.
I can foresee you telling them to send in their experiences might blow up our email a little bit.
Yeah, if you guys are into that kind of stuff.
Especially lately.
And by the time you're listening to this, one of us is going to be living in an area that commonly has UFO extraterrestrial things happening.
It's not quite the extraterrestrial highway, but it's damn close.
So, yeah, by the time you're actually, at the time of recording this, in 8 days, Jesse will be moving to Arizona, where he grew up and had a lot of the experiences he's going to share today on the podcast.
And hopefully I have many more to share in the future.
So I'm just going to share my two really quick because they're not crazy or anything like that.
Hurry up.
Geez, I was like 12 or 13, and we were leaving a minor league baseball game, like a AA, AAA game. So not quite MLB, big league guys. And this was late 2000, so it was okay back then. In the middle of the country, riding in the back of my grandfather's truck, we all pulled over because we saw a big triangle in the sky out on these country roads with a light at each end of the triangle. Pulled over, my grandpa and my uncle hopped out, and we all just stared at it, and it slowly moved across the sky and then took off. And it was only a couple hundred feet in the air. It was not very high up at all. I chalked that up to UFO because, I mean, I guess it could have been like an army aircraft thing if you want to try to debunk it.
Yeah,
but
sure.
That late at night, flying that low to the ground in the middle of nowhere. So that freaked me out. And then the last one was on a golf course. When I was younger, I was part of a junior golf league. And me, my sister, and my bus driver, actually my school bus driver, was a golf coach. We were all on fairway 2 of Cardinal Hills Golf Course in Western New York. If anybody's around here and they know that. Me, my sister, and Rolf looked up, and there was this big triangle again flying over the golf course. pretty low to the ground, moving at a slower pace. And we didn't see it take off this time. It just kind of moved over pretty slow until it got over the tree line and we couldn't see it anymore. But those two occurrences were within 15 to 20 minutes of each other, like distance-wise.
Really?
Yeah, they were pretty close. So,
And our friend Andrea has reported lots of sightings who lives in that same general area.
yeah, she
too.
lives about 10 miles outside of where these would have taken place.
Yeah, she's told us she's seen all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah, and there's no army base or anything down there. Closest army base is literally all the way up here. It's an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
2 hours away.
Yeah.
So,
But, you know, these things are always seen in these remote regions, and there's a reason for that. You know, they don't want cities of people seeing them until recently.
but what makes it weird to me is one was in the dead of night, like 10 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
and one was anywhere between 9 and noon in the morning, middle of the day. So, I don't know. I don't know if aliens think about that kind of thing.
The one that was closer to the ground, that was later at night, right?
They were both pretty close to the ground, but the one that was closest was later at night. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say the other one was a little bit higher, and that was during daytime at the golf course.
So I'm gonna preface this as I'm a conspiracy guy, in case you haven't caught on to that yet. And I'm also big into UFOs and aliens and whatever they are. Do I think I have an answer of what they are? No, absolutely not. I don't have a clue. Now, to tie into this triangle thing, there's always been a great theory about the triangle being the most powerful shape in these types of things. I have beauty marks on my wrist, and I don't know that I've always had them there, but it's in the exact type of triangle that we see in the sky, where it's two on the bottom and then one on the top, but the one on the top is always slightly askew. It's not a perfect triangle. And if you notice, when you see these things, generally when it's more like higher up star formations or whatever, it's not a perfect triangle. And I don't know the reason for that, but it always seems to be slightly off center, the top of the triangle. At least that's what I was noticing back in the day. Now, some of the pictures that we're looking at are aircraft, and I mean, these look like, you know, purposely built aircraft. I would say probably government aircraft, and they're perfect triangles, different from what I'm talking about. But so 1997 is when the Phoenix Lights happened, and coincidentally, that is exactly when we moved to Phoenix. So for a little bit of reference, on March 13th, 1997, two formations of light were sighted in the skies over the valley and other parts of Arizona.
We should have definitely started with this story because the whole beginning of this episode probably did not make that a lot of people want to stay on this episode.
One was shaped like a V and cruised across the sky, while the other was a series of glowing orbs that appeared in a line near the Sierra Estrella mountain range. The two incidents became known as the Phoenix Lights, one of the largest and best-known UFO sightings in history. Thousands of people across America witnessed the phenomena, which caused a hullabaloo in the media over the next few months that grew into a worldwide obsession. Despite the public clamoring for answers about what caused the Phoenix Lights, both at the time and over the ensuing decades, no official investigation has ever occurred. Here's everything to know about the Phoenix Lights. Okay, well, I'm not going to read everything, because I actually witnessed the Phoenix Lights. That's the craziest part. That was my introduction to Arizona. Was, hey, aliens. They started on March 13th, 1997. The first sighting happened between 7:55 and 8:40 p.m., and the second between 9:15 and 9:35. How many people saw it? Several thousand people reportedly witnessed the Phoenix Lights, and you know, it went so far as the news stations started mocking us for it, and they actually brought out a fake alien and, you know, in a costume to make fun of everyone, saying that we had seen this stuff.
It's kind of messed up.
Yeah. And that's what it says right here. Yeah. Despite publicly mocking the fervor over the Phoenix Lights during a joke-filled news conference, see, I'm not making this up, claimed a decade later he saw the phenomenon. In 2007, he began stating in interviews that he ditched his security detail on the night of the sightings, joined a crowd of skywatchers at Pustua Peak, then Squaw Peak, that's what I know it as, witnessed a V-shaped formation. In a 2021 episode of the Showtime program UFO, Symington claims his reluctance to reveal what he had witnessed, the sightings, was due to being under federal indictment at the time for 21 counts of extortion, bank fraud, and making false financial statements. So I saw those. So that started my interest in UFOs and basically being able to tell the difference between satellites and stars and planes and helicopters. Because anybody who's not in that kind of area, and by that kind of area, I mean in a non-polluted kind of area, because up here in Western New York, it's pollution like crazy.
Yeah.
We don't have clear skies. Even on what we would call a clear night,
Yeah, blue sky.
it's still not clear. When you go to places like Arizona, Phoenix, or Nevada, desert areas where we don't have pollution like that, you see the true sky and you see so many more stars, so much more stuff that goes on out there. One experience I had, I was working at Papa John's Pizza at the time, and I had gone out back for a smoke break, even though I didn't smoke, but I just wanted a break. So I went out back and I look up in the sky and I see this traveling light, and it moved across the sky, and all of a sudden it just disappears. Okay, whatever. Well, I stayed out there and I look up, and again the same exact thing happened. Moves across the sky in the same exact position, same exact place, and then disappears again. That continued, and I brought other employees out back there with me. That continued for at least 15 minutes. I had seen that. That was one. Other stuff that I had seen, I can just say, I know it wasn't satellites. I know it wasn't an airplane. And the movement of these things is when you get trained to identify what does what and what should be doing what should be flashing with what colors and what shouldn't. I've seen so many craft
Have
over
you
my ears.
Have you heard about Project Blue Book?
Oh yeah. Blue
Okay.
Beam?
Blue Book.
Blue Book too.
Okay, so give me 1 second here to figure out exactly what slider it is. I'm gonna try to pull this up. System, Bluetooth. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'm gonna connect the phone to our Rodecaster here. Now, this has over 9 million views for part 1. Let me go back up to it. Yep, part 1. Let's try to play this here. Bring that down. Now, this is apparently an alien interview.
I'm skeptical already.
Project Blue Book. I mean, so here, really quick, I'm going to try to read this.
I know exactly what video you're going to play.
Project Blue Book. This apparently took place June 9th of 1964. It's on YouTube by the poster name is MENI Things. So MENITHINGS. And the name is Alien Interview Part 1.
Okay, we're recording. State planet origin? Okay, yesterday you told us you traveled, and I quote, thousands of light years to get here. Yes. Tell us the truth or the word or another meaning. It is truth.
I know it's kind of hard to hear. But this alien is sitting in a not very well lit room, and apparently this took place in 1964. So I mean, obviously the camera quality wouldn't be that good. It definitely looks like it came from like 1964. Okay, so here they ask me if he's human.
So I take it aliens took over our future, right? So you're human.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
so
gotta
right
explain
there,
that because you can't understand what
right
that's
there, it
saying.
says that he asks if you're human, and no, he says no, an evolutionary descendant, which a lot of people have thought about before too. That aliens are just another form of human,
Mhm.
just a more advanced form.
Or that we're a version of them.
Okay, so you evolved from us.
He said yes.
So what are you doing here now?
Observing, and that's another thing a lot of people think that aliens do. They're just cruising over, observing things, right?
Well, yeah. Big theory is that they're trying to make sure that we don't destroy our planet because we are a destructive people.
Yeah. And he said, so right there. So what were you doing here now? Observing. Since evidence was destroyed.
Hmm.
Nuclear war. He says nuclear war.
Yep.
Now, 64, that was after Hiroshima and all that stuff, right? So maybe that's what this alien is talking about if this is real?
Yeah, and it was also after the Roswell crash too.
Yeah, that wasn't nuclear, though.
No, but that would have been the first real knowing of them being here.
Small number survived. Our ancestors. Ooh, okay, wait. One thing to think about is maybe way back in the day, maybe there was another form of advanced people or whatever, right?
Yep.
And the nuclear war wiped all them out, and now we're rebuilding, and we're getting to the same point where everybody knows how to do nuclear, blah 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 blah.
Uh-huh.
So maybe that's a thing.
How about we concentrate on your time?
Says we're not capable of comprehending or accepting the discoveries of his time. See, okay, nobody back in the day talked like that, right? Try me. Like, come on now.
Well, I mean, I guess.
The origin of the universe. The nature of so-called life. It is known.
So you know the meaning of life.
Yes, if you know the meaning of life. Alien responds, not meaning nature. Meaning is something that's ascribed. Nature is the objective reality.
So you know how the universe is created. So you think God.
So the alien pretty much says there is no God. We evolved past the need for superstition. The need for God and other myths.
Okay, illuminate us. What happens when we die?
What the guy asked, what happens when we die? Death is a human construct. It does not exist. You will experience or have experienced every instance of so-called life. So reincarnation? The alien says, you, me, him. We are instances of the same life, separated by what you call death, which is, like I just said, what a lot of people believe of, and that's reincarnation. Your physical body form passes away, and then your spiritual goes into another.
Death is only the end of this human experience. That we go on and on and on.
And I know, I saw one thing one time that said everybody you meet in this life that we're currently in will be part of your life in another form. Right? Like my next life or whatever, you'll also be there, your spirit anyways, but in a different form. So like whatever, I might be a dog and you might be whatever.
That's what you choose to come back as.
Okay, so let me get this straight. There's no death, and we all experience each other's lives, right?
In essence, yes.
Okay, so how alien was created, and why is it so perfectly made for us?
There are an infinite number of universes, each with different physical properties. Virtually all do not support life such as you know it. We exist in a universe that does not support so-called life. That is all.
Okay.
And this alien dude in this video looks like it's just like a prisoner, just like a literal interrogation room.
Yeah.
Like, is this supposed to happen at Area 51? Like, this is what everybody thinks happens in Area 51.
Right.
We can stop listening to this now and talk a little
Yeah.
bit about that. Like, this is why, geez, when was that? A couple of years back now, time of recording this, I don't know when everybody else is listening to this, but time of recording this, a couple of years ago, everybody had a plan to just, what was it, Naruto run into Area 51.
Naruto, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was so dumb.
And invade Area 51 because everybody demanded answers as to what the hell was actually happening there. Like right there, that's what people think is happening in there.
Yeah. And they were still denying the existence of Area 51, like it didn't exist. And then they came out and they said, oh yeah, by the way, Area 51 does exist, but it's covert military operations. Okay.
Which a lot of people still think is bullshit. And I guess
I think it's both.
that could kind of cover it, right? It could be maybe finding out the existence of aliens is a covert military operation.
Right.
But they didn't really tell us yes or no. Hey, yeah, there are aliens here
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. But Trump has come out and said, yes, he knows about all this stuff.
Yeah.
They just declassified a bunch of information about aliens and stuff like that. Pilots have, military pilots and stuff have come out saying that, oh yeah, we're flying thousands of feet above the air, and all of a sudden, bam, there's something flying 30 times faster than us.
Yeah.
It'll come up to us and glide right next to us and then take off. And there's pictures and videos of this kind of stuff out there.
So there was a aircraft called the SR-71. And if you want to look up what the SR-72 is, this thing is absolutely incredible. It's stuff that we couldn't even think was going to be possible.
Lockheed Martin hypersonic concept aircraft intended for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance.
So this thing, not only can it reach Mach 6, which is higher than anything we thought we could get to, it changes form as it flies. Like, it literally can change its shape as it flies. And that's technology we couldn't even conceive of until I saw this, honestly. I mean, you could maybe think of it in your imagination, but you never could imagine how this could possibly work. That's what this thing can do.
Oh yeah, look at all these. They got pictures of it in all of its different forms and stuff too.
So you can't tell me that at Area 51 they didn't get or meet aliens, reverse engineer, either with the help of aliens or, against their will, but I think it was with the help of.
For those that don't know, Mach 6 is 4,600 miles an hour, which is absolutely insane. My car doesn't let me go past 80.
What I didn't like about that interview is how it said that there is no God and that it's superstition.
I mean, that definitely seems fake. How would that video was posted 9 years ago?
Yeah.
How would some random person with 100-something thousand subscribers have over 9 million views on this episode? And he has there's interview 1, 2, 3, and 4. How would they have gotten their hands on this
They're the only
video?
ones.
Yeah, and they're the only other ones are people that have reposted it and have like them in the bottom corner reacting to it.
So what they say is there's so many different forms of aliens that are out there, and the ones that we most commonly know are the Greys. Those are the ones in all the movies that are freaking everybody out and everything.
E.T.
There's also a theory that they are simply fallen angels, and that's only what they are. Who knows? Now, when you said Project Blue Book, I immediately said Project Bluebeam. Now, the difference between that and Bluebeam is basically Project Bluebeam is it's a holographic depiction of an alien invasion that they say is going to come about to scare the hell out of the population, to making us think that we're being invaded by ghosts, by aliens,
Oscar, shut
not cats.
And then, so Project Blue Book was the United States Air Force program that investigated unidentified flying objects, UFOs, from 1952 to 1969, headquartered at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio. Program ended in December 1969 following a University of Colorado report and reviews by the National Academy of Sciences. The purpose of this Project Blue Book was for the Air Force to establish it in 1952 in response to a surge in UFO sightings, aiming to investigate and debunk these reports and to mitigate potential public panic and national security concerns.
All right, right there. So they wanted to investigate all the sightings and tell everyone they're crazy.
Yeah.
Debunk everything.
To mitify the public concern.
Because honestly, back then we couldn't handle it. Nowadays, they've come out and they've said there's aliens. They're showing us drones. You know, I mean, they're showing us drones and orbs and stuff. And there's so much other stuff going on that we're just like, aliens. Yeah. Well, what about the the hurricanes
And okay, it says right here, why did Project Blue Book get canceled? After investigations found no evidence of any UFO that was extraterrestrial in nature or that threatened national security.
Okay.
Then what the hell is the interview? It's got to be a fake interview then.
I believe that's a fake interview. There's another, I think you had it up there, a supposed autopsy.
Oh yeah, right here. So this is actually on the history.
That was the
This
biggest
is on history.com.
bunch
the history
of
channel.
crap ever.
It's a tiny little alien-looking CGI
So fake.
wax thingamabobber.
This was made before any CGI was around.
Apparently, it's an alien autopsy.
Yeah, fake, so fake.
Like, and this is, you guys can type in alien autopsy, and it's on the historychannel.com.
I had this VHS back in the day. I know this the whole thing well. It's
this
totally fake. It's totally
It
fake.
definitely doesn't look real. It looks nothing like the alien in the little
Back in the
interview thing that we
90s,
just watched.
that was about as real as it got. But, they've been spoon feeding us this stuff for a long time, trying to desensitize us to the idea of aliens, while at the same time making us afraid, thinking that they're here to destroy us. Every alien movie is about they're coming to invade and destroy us.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute here. Project Blue Book, obviously, whatever. Its records are now available for public review at nationalarchives.gov.
But do you trust it? If they've debunked everything?
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, I trust nothing
That's
at
a
this
good
point.
question.
I believe nothing in everything at the same time.
Received many requests for documentation and information about Project MJ12.
Yeah, Majestic 12, dude. That's cool.
1846.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, it goes all the way back in the day.
Oh, there's
President Eisenhower, his appointment books contain no entry for a special meeting on July 16, 1954, which might have included a briefing on MJ12. Even when the president had off-the-record meetings, the
Yes.
appointment books contained entries indicating the time of the meeting and the participants.
Uh-huh.
The declassification office of the National Security Council has informed us that it had no record of any declassification action having been taken on this memorandum or any other documents on this alleged project.
So it might say it on there, but there's a big theory that Eisenhower himself
Had a communication with an alien, right?
right,
Yeah.
and made a deal with them that in exchange for their technology, they could abduct our animals and humans to do whatever experimentation they were doing in exchange for a lot of their technology.
See, I could believe that.
Absolutely
Because
believe it.
how else would you explain us going from what the heck we were in the 50s and 60s
Yeah.
to 60 years later, we have robots
Yeah.
that do crap for us?
Yeah.
Like, explain that.
Uh-huh.
I find it hard to believe that without help from anything else, we advanced that quick. Because if you think about it, man, 60 years is not that long of a time period.
No. With
And-
no help.
Yeah, with no help. Like, that is ridiculously quick to advance as far as we have.
And I mean, not even just in 60 years. We had, the industrial age, and then this little stuff happened behind the scenes, and all of a sudden there were incredible advances in technology that we didn't even have a clue to before that.
Yeah, crap ton of people just working in a mill or coal mines or whatever, and people just having big steel buildings everywhere, and now look at everybody.
And then we got supercomputers in our pocket.
So on this archives about Project Blue Book, it also has entries about the Roswell incident.
Mm-hmm.
Among the Project Blue records that discussed in 19. Okay. Roswell isn't. Ooh. Okay. You talk really quick. I want to look this up. Where? Scottsdale?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
So I don't know, man. All these New Jersey drones and orbs that we've been seeing lately, I don't think all of them are UFOs. They're unidentified. They're flying and they're objects, yeah. But there's some, it's hard to say nowadays because our government is so far advanced, because you got to remember the technology that they're showing us, they are at least, bare minimum, they are 70 years advanced in technology from what they're not showing us. So,
okay. For anybody that's still listening, 31 minutes and 48 seconds into this episode.
Good job.
If you are not already, Haunted America also has a YouTube channel. At the time of recording this, we're recording a few months ahead of time because actually we might just say screw it and upload this episode sooner than that. We will be driving through Roswell, New Mexico.
We are? We're going through Roswell?
In 9 days.
We're going through Roswell.
We're going through Roswell.
Oh, hell yeah.
And we will be traveling through there, estimated anywhere between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m.
Okay, perfect. I will tell you, because I've drove cross country at least twice, okay, to Arizona and back. And the first time I drove down there, and this wasn't in Arizona, I believe it was in New Mexico, honestly. As we drove through, and it was at night, we saw these really strange. So there's two really strange things we saw. These pyramid-shaped. So it was small pyramids in the shape of a pyramid in the sand itself. Okay, so there's mounds of pyramids in the shape of a pyramid. Not just one. There was many of them that we saw as we drove. That was one strange thing that we noticed, and we're like, what the hell could that be for? Also, another thing that we saw were, and I'm going to describe them as light poles, I guess. They would be towers, and I don't mean towers like structured towers. It would be like one solid piece of metal with lights that go up them, and they started on each side of the road as we drove, but the further we drove, it then veered off the road and into the desert, seemingly forming what we thought was probably a runway for something to land. So on our drive back to New York from Arizona, we took the exact same trip, and only this time we were in the daytime. None of that stuff was there.
You know what else is crazy? Totally away from aliens, but the ghosts. We will also be driving only 20 minutes away from Silver City, New Mexico.
Okay.
You know Silver City, the Silver City ghost town?
I don't know.
They've
Silver
been on
City.
ghost adventures and stuff like that.
Okay.
So we might take a 20-minute detour as well and go there. Might as well. Even if we record a short 30-minute thing or whatever, we can bring some of the equipment. You're already taking some of it with you to Arizona.
Right.
So we could make a couple little stops.
There might be, we might get some content out of this drive.
So yeah, I would, if you guys haven't already, I think we only have like 80 people subscribed to it because we don't really do anything with it. The Haunted America YouTube channel. Just type in Haunted America. It's our same logo that we use for our podcast and everything. just over on YouTube. And there, maybe if we catch something or whatever we record on this trip, we will post to YouTube for you guys to go over and check out yourselves.
Oh, please! If we catch anything, we're gonna post it on everything we possibly can.
Oh yeah. Alrighty. You ready to wrap this one up?
Yeah, I mean, I could talk for days about this stuff, but this is good for the first iteration of this.
We are going to do another alien show here, but this time we are going to read your guys' stories about alien encounters. So let's wrap it up. So thank you guys for joining us on this UFO alien extraterrestrial episode of Haunted America. We appreciate it. I am your host, Dalton Taylor.
And I'm Jester Paso.
And this has been
Haunted America.
UFO America.